Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 32nd Annual Boston University Division of Military Education Joint Service Presidential Review. My name is Kelsey Kornblatt. I'm a senior Army cadet majoring in sociology at Boston University, and I will earn my commission in May as a second lieutenant. The reviewing officer for today's passing review is Army Colonel Charles H. May. The host is Dr. Robert Brown, president of Boston University. Also in the reviewing party are Dr. Douglas Sears, the Director of the Division of Military Education and Vice President and Chief of Staff, and Professor of Military Science, Major James Mitchell. The Commanders of Troops is Army Cadet Sarah Gloin, a senior majoring in journalism at Boston University. She will earn her commission in May as a second lieutenant. The ceremony you're about to witness is one of long-standing tradition. Originally, when units and armies prepared for battle or assembled in celebration, commanders formed their units in line of battle to inspect the troops. The formation on the field today continues this tradition and includes the Army, Naval, and Air Force ROTC programs at Boston University. As the units take their place on the field, the formation and presentation of the command will take place. As the adjutant forms the massed regiment, the commanders will dress the respective units on the colors at the center of the formation. We would like to extend a special welcome to the family, members of cadets and midshipmen, and to all ROTC alumni in attendance. The ROTC alumni that are present today represent commissioning classes ranging from the class of 1950 to the class of 2014. At this time, we would like to acknowledge several special guests. Our guests of honor for today's parade are Dr. Robert A. Brown, professor of Boston University, Colonel Charles H. May, Military Deputy to the Commanding General, Natick Soldier Systems Command, Dr. Douglas A. Sears, Director of the Division of Military Education and Vice President and Chief of Staff, members of the Military Education Faculty Committee, Dr. Jeffrey Hutter, Dr. Theo De Winter, Dr. Igor Lucas, Dr. Anna D. Holler, and Dr. Robert Hausman. Other distinguished guests in attendance today include Captain Stephen M. Banky, Professor of Naval Science at Boston University, Lieutenant Colonel Paul H. Whitmore, Professor of Aerospace Studies at Boston University, and Major James Mitchell, Professor of Military Science at Boston University.
Attention! Let's go!
Commander of Troops, Cadet Sarah Gloin, has moved forward and will now escort the reviewing officials, Colonel May, Dr. Brown, Dr. Sears, and Major Mitchell, official as they troop the line. This close inspection is an integral part of forming the line of battle, as it offers the commander a chance to inspect his or her soldiers, offer them praise and last-minute instructions before the coming battle. When used as here for review, it offers the commander the chance to present her troops to other commanders and officials. The Army Reserve Officers Training Corps was originally established at Boston University in 1919 and operated on campus until 1970, when it withdrew due to campus unrest during the final years of the Vietnam War. In 1974, the trustees of the university officially applied to the Department of Defense for reestablishment of Army ROTC on campus. In the school year 1980 to 1981, the Army reopened its ROTC detachment on campus and has been an important part of the Boston University community ever since. Army ROTC officers from the Charles River Battalion have served in all conflicts since the First World War with distinction. 4 of these graduates have attained general officer rank, and numerous others have gone on to positions of leadership and trust in both government and business. The United States Navy established a naval ROTC program at Boston University in September 1982. Since that date, the mission of the unit has been to develop, educate, and evaluate midshipmen for commissioned naval service. The unit is staffed by Naval and Marine Corps personnel who assist the Professor of Naval Science with the duties and responsibilities of fulfilling the unit's mission. The United States Air Force operated on ROTC at Boston University from 1950 until 1970, when it withdrew from campus. Air Force ROTC was reestablished on campus concurrently with the Army in the school year 1980 to 1981. Since returning, the Flying Tiger Wing has continued its outstanding program, producing some of the finest officers for the Air Force. Boston University's Air Force officers have served in all conflicts since the Korean War with distinction. 3 of these graduates have attained general officer rank. Since its inception on campus in 1919, the ROTC program at Boston University has commissioned over 7,100 officers into the active, reserve, and National Guard units of the nation. Today, Boston University is one of only 25 universities nationwide to offer all 3 ROTC programs to its students. Please rise for the playing of our national anthem by the Dear Abbeys, a Boston University all-male a cappella group.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Oh, rockets red was precious skylarks as they gazed on perfect majesty that our flag was still there, oh say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Douglas A. Sears, Director of the Division of Military Education and Vice President and Chief of Staff. Dr. Sears.
Thank you very much. Good morning, President Brown, Colonel May, members of the Military Education Committee, friends, relatives, and since this is Parents' Weekend at Boston University, justifiably proud parents. On behalf of the President, the Division of Military Education, and the officer and enlisted personnel who lead and staff our Reserve Officer Training Corps, I am very pleased to welcome you to Boston University this morning. We welcome friends and relatives of our Boston University cadets and midshipmen. We also warmly welcome the friends and relatives of the students from the many other fine colleges and universities who train with us here as part of our program. Our history, as you heard during the review, traces back to 1919 when the Army first opened a training unit here. We now host all the branches of the armed forces, as was mentioned, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and we are proudly committed to providing the supports that are worthy of the commitments and sacrifices that are made by the young men and women standing before you, who choose the arduous, less traveled path of the profession of arms. Actually, I did a count. I think we're getting up to 8,000 men and women have trained here, earned their commissions, and served our nation with distinction in war and peace. Today, at this review, we honor the choice these young people have made to cultivate those virtues, courage, integrity, endurance, to name several, that allow them to take on immense responsibility at an early age. I am very pleased on behalf of President Brown and the University to introduce today's speaker, Colonel Charles H. May. Colonel May's career has taken him from early service with the Corps of Engineers, including a command stint at Fort William Davis, Panama, to the Acquisition Corps with vital work at Redstone Arsenal on missile defense and radar systems and the countering of explosive hazards, as well as deployment to Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan. He also served on the Joint Task Force at Guantanamo for detainee operations, sensitive work that. Currently, he serves as the military deputy to the commanding general at the U.S. Army Natick Soldier Research Development and Engineering Center. The center, for the few civilians here who might not know it, is where some really smart people figure out ways to keep our warriors safer, warmer, cooler, nimbler, and more effective. I am pleased to say, I did a little homework on this, that Boston University has a number of collaborations with the center. I just have to read this really carefully because I don't understand it one bit. One of these has to do with tailoring a metasurface-based device for optical vortices to be compatible with vortex fibers we've developed here. Dr. Brown might understand it. Another has to do with plasmonics, light harvesting, and biosensing. The only one I remotely understand was a collaboration leading to the development of the Red Owl sniper detection system. But we're proud and delighted to be able to work with the center and to host Colonel May today. His work at this center is, as you can infer, vital to the next generation of officers and enlisted. I know that Colonel May's insights and observations, the product of his current work and his exemplary career, will be of great interest to our cadets and midshipmen gathered here and, of course, to us. Colonel May, thank you.
Dr. Robert Brown, Dr. Douglas Sears, Captain Stephen Benke, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Whitmore, Major James Mitchell, soldiers, cadets, families, I really can't thank you enough for being here. This is extremely special. I feel like I'm on a Shakespearean stage and I should grab it and spin around, because in all public speaking, we're always told to make eye contact. So if you see me moving, it's because that's drilled into me. First of all, I need to honor the parents and all the family that are responsible for our very best standing in front of us. Without a doubt, A+, gold medals all around, just phenomenal, and I just can't thank you enough. Tremendous work. The cadets, you guys are top notch, and I know you hear that, but I used to be out there, and now I'm here and I'm looking out and I see where I used to be, and I thought, how'd I get here so fast? All of you, if you stay the course, will be here, I guarantee it. This program, I mean, this is a top-notch institution. Not everybody gets to come here. So that already puts you cream of the crop. You're also one-percenters, of which your parents are one-percenters. 1% of this country serves in the service of arms so everybody else can do what they want to do. You guys and gals, you warriors, give up some of your rights so everybody else can have unlimited rights. And really drill that in, because not everybody is willing to do this. You will run into peers that'll say, I want to jump out of an airplane, or I want to be on a Navy cutter, or I want to go to Ranger school, or I want to fly an F-16. And you can say, you know, you can do that. We got a program for that. And the first thing they'll say is, well, I got to get fit. That's okay, we've got basic training. And if that doesn't sway them, then you can tell them, you can follow my path and come to one of the best universities in the country to be the very, very best. And the beauty of that is that your performance now is already exemplary. Everybody is tight. And you are ready, and you will be ready to transition into the force and make a difference. And I cannot thank you enough, and I'm extremely excited for your careers, because where you were, I was, and I've had a tremendous time, and I would do it all over again. No question. Lieutenant Goyne, first class. Some of my best subordinates were female warriors, and really took it to them. So I know you're going to do that, and you'll have them locked, and you'll have them right where you want them real quick. I know you will. So that's great. I think this is a good time to mention our 35th president, John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I know that you will continue to deliver on that. And those words resound and as true when they were spoken as they are today, and will continue throughout eternity. One thing I really want to hit on, you all, everybody here is going to join an organizations that are values-based. For the Army, the acronym is leadership, loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, personal courage. Those have to be ingrained. That's your life. If those aren't flawless, impeccable, then all of your achievements, and I got this from my wife, and I think she said it the best I've ever heard it, your achievements are tarnished. Look back over the last 3 or 4 years, phenomenal leaders. They've got their values in question, so now whatever they achieve, it's like, well, you know, maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. All that effort because of values. And it's the dogma is the driver. That's the culture we're under. We're values-based. So embrace it, and I know you will. Always be positive. It makes a difference. You can go off around the corner and have a mad moment, but in front of your warriors, you've got to be positive. There is always a silver lining. You will find it. And when the times get tough, the guys that can pull everybody together, formulate some sort of course of action, move out, find the high ground, you're going to carry the day. It's out there, you can find it, and it's infectious. People want to be around that. Continuous self-development. You have to read, and I can't, and I'm sure you do. I personally am a CD guy. I like the different inflections. The book comes alive. Also, know your branch of service, how it evolved. I was doing some research, and I know that the Army's birthday is 14 June 1775, which is, in this group, probably the most important day, but some might argue. But 16 December 1636, it all started with the National Guard. 13 October 1775, the Navy. 10 November 1775, the United States Marine Corps. 4 August 1790, the Coast Guard. I didn't know that. And then 18 September 1947, the United States Air Force. Know these things. These are important. It's part of what's allowed us to evolve where we are today, knowing these dates and significant contributions. Know who you are as a person. You've got to know yourself. Capitalize on your strengths and your weaknesses, make them even stronger. Know your adversaries. Know your opposite number. You've got to do the research, the intel. Know their formations, how they dress, how they move, the equipment they use, how they feed, how they refuel, how they supply, likes and dislikes. And share that with your men, your warriors. Again, you'll be successful. Again, you've got to know your job. You want to know hire's job, and you got to know the big picture, because if something happens, lo and behold, you're in charge. Tactics, techniques, and procedures. You have to know them. If you don't know them, and you will. Again, I say read, talk to peers, officers, non-commissioned officers, especially those senior master sergeants, sergeant first classes, gunnery sergeants. They can get more done in 35 minutes than I could get done in 5 years. They know the people, they get things done, and you can learn from them. Allow yourself to be taught. Bottom line, take care of your people. Take care of your people. Safety first mission always. I always tell my boys, there are no accidents. And I know that's kind of hard to believe, but I really believe they're preventable. If you have an accident, lo and behold, you have to take more time to have a lesson learned, which you really don't want to go to in the first place. Catch it early. We have more accidents hurting people than through enemy fire, through combat operations. Safety first, mission always. I always remember my father telling me you have to make good decisions with no information. And a decision he made kept him alive from getting blown up. Go figure. He just had a gut feeling. So you have to draw from your knowledge, your experiences, use your people, make good decisions, keep your warriors safe. And I know you can do that. Finally, fitness, and you know this. You've got to be mentally and physically tough. You've got to go the distance. You can be, without a doubt, the smartest guy, gal in the formation, but if you're not physically fit and you can't get to the point of execution, the mission won't go off. So you got to lead. But fortunately, I look out here, you guys are, I would say, well above average. The first formation when you show up, I believe that your warriors will kind of have an upset stomach feeling because they realize their world's going to get turned over. That'll be a proud moment. I've said this, everybody's going to have a super exciting future. This is the pinnacle. And it's only going to get better. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd join the Army. I honor and will continue to honor you forever. My very best to all of you. I know you will be successful because you show success out here today. You've shown up, everybody is locked, you're a team, and that's what makes the military successful. That's what makes our military the finest on this world. We are the finest fighting force this globe has ever seen. And when the combined arms comes together, nobody matches us. Nobody. Nobody does over the shore better than the Army, the Navy. Nobody is first in like the Marine Corps. Nobody supports long-term operations better than the Air Force, the Army. I'm getting these all confused. This isn't good. And the Air Force, nobody delivers like the United States Air Force, have the heavy lift. Everybody else pales to what the United States military brings to the table every day. So with that, I continue to honor and thank you for volunteering and ensuring that this nation, the greatest of nations, land of the free, home of the brave, remains that. Godspeed to all of you. We'll meet on the high ground.
Pass and review.
Now passing the reviewing stand is the regimental staff, commanded by Army Cadet Sarah Gloin. Members of the staff include Army Cadet Samuel Harding, Army Cadet Kyle Schembeckler, Navy Midshipman Andrew Bates, Navy Midshipman Elizabeth Schaefer, Air Force Cadet Christopher Powers, and Air Force Cadet Alec Benoit. Now passing the reviewing stand is the Army ROTC Battalion, commanded by Cadet Tyler Wojciechowski, a senior studying physics at Boston University. He will commission in May as a second lieutenant. Alpha Company is commanded by Cadet Kieran Sperry, a master's student studying international security at Boston University. She will commission in May as a second lieutenant. Bravo Company is commanded by Cadet Andrew Sinoli, a master's student studying criminal justice at Curry College. He will commission in May as a second lieutenant. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the passing of the colors. The Joint Service Color Guard before you today is commanded by Army Cadet Sam Cardall. Now passing the reviewing stand is the Naval ROTC Battalion, commanded by Midshipman Veronica Dombrowskis, a senior majoring in nursing at Northeastern University. She will commission in January as an ensign in the Navy Nurse Corps. Alpha Company is commanded by Midshipman Sarah Burrell, a senior studying environmental geoscience and sociology at Boston College. She will commission in May as a student naval aviator. Bravo Company is commanded by Midshipman Josh Dalva, a senior studying international relations at Boston University. He will commission in May as a student naval flight officer. Now passing the reviewing stand is the 355th Air Force ROTC Wing. The Air Force Wing is commanded by Cadet Leo Cody, a senior studying civil engineering at Northeastern University. He will commission in May as a second lieutenant. The group commander is commanded by Cadet Kevin McCombs, a senior studying psychology at Boston College. He will commission in May as a pilot. Concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of Boston University's Division of Military Education, I hope you all enjoyed today's review. Please join us for a small reception at the Francis Burke Club Room, Agganis Arena, 925 Commonwealth Avenue. You can reach the club room by proceeding out of the gate you entered through, Gate 2, turning left, and then crossing the street to the Agganis Arena. For those requiring transportation, you may meet a cadet detail at Gate 2 of Nickerson Field to your left.